Hello, everybody. I'm going to go through some of the Corel Draw stuff we did today for those people that it's new. I know, like I went through a lot of stuff really fast, so it's probably overwhelming. So we're going to open Corel Draw by searching for Corel Draw, and once it opens, we're going to skip this menu thing here, and hopefully you'll get this screen. If you don't get this screen, then you'll get the next screen that I'm going to do. So you can either push new here or new here, but when I click this, it's going to ask me about what page I want. I can put a title here, so whatever I want to title it. Then I can change my color. I'm going to do RGB, and then the width, I want it to be 24 by 12. I think the default is 8.5 by 11, which you probably have. So once you have those things done, you're going to push OK, and it's going to make a new page. That's the correct size. And the reason I changed it to this size is because this is the size of my laser bed. So the pieces of wood that I put in my laser are usually 24 by 12 inches. So then we're going to practice first with the tools we have here. I have rectangle. And when I click this little triangle, it shows me all the things in that menu. So see, like each one of these has different. Whatever I select last is the one that shows up here. So when I click a object, it makes that objects until I change back to the pick tool. So if I click circle, it's going to make circles until I go back to the pick tool. Once I select the pick tool, I can select and move the objects around however I want them to be. And then so that's part of it. And then when I have nothing selected on my page, you can see this dimensions are 24 by 12. If I wanted to see how big like this rectangle was, if I click it, I can see the dimensions here. And if I'm not sure what that is in real life, I would go get a ruler and kind of think about how big is that? 1 inch by 2 inches. Is that the size that I want it to be? And then if I wanted to see how big both of these things are, I could left click and drag a rectangle and include what I want to highlight and let go. And now it's giving me the dimensions of both of these things together, right? So this is the dimensions of all these objects together, okay? So that's just kind of how to figure out how big things are on the page. We're going to make a heart name keychain first, just for practice. So I'm going to highlight everything I made and just delete it. And I push delete on my keyboard after I highlight. So I'm going to click this little triangle and I'm going to go to common shapes. And in the common shapes, there's a bunch of shapes. I could do a no sign, and a horseshoe, a lightning bolt. I'm going to choose the hearts. And I'm going to click and drag, and I'm going to make it, I don't know, 3 inches or so. If I like how this heart looks, like proportionally, I can lock this, and then the ratio of the height and width stays the same. So when I click this, I can just change one of the numbers, like 3, and then it goes to proportionally smaller, okay? I kind of want it to be bigger, so let me do 3.5. All right, so when you think your heart looks good, and if you drew it on paper, you would like the size of it. Now I'm going to add some text. I'm going to write my name on it, so I'm going to click the text thing here, and I'll write Kaplan. And then I'm going to use the little squares here. If I drag on this one here, it like proportionally makes it bigger. And I can move it around to wherever I want it. Perfect. Then the last thing I'm going to do is, since it's a keychain, I need a little circle. So I'm going to add a little circle here. And however big, I might need to go measure the keychains to make sure that hole is big enough. So I could click here and say, oh, that's a pretty big hole actually. Whatever. And once it prints, if you need to reprint, that's not a big deal because it's very small. So now if I printed this, it wouldn't cut out anything because I haven't told it to cut anything. And I'm going to take some of this stuff out. So I need to change the properties of these lines so they're cut lines. Because right now it's just a picture that would engrave and nothing would cut. For the laser cutter to know to cut something, it has to have a special line color. It has to have cut is red is 255, green is 0, and blue is 0, so 100% red. For vector engrave, red is 0, green is 0, and blue is 255. and all others are raster engrave. Okay, and I'll go over that more later. But so now I'm going to change. The other thing is the thickness of the line. I'll show you what that is in a sec. So when I right click on the page, I'm going to go properties and the outline. So I need to select an object. So I'm going to select the heart and I'm going to change the outline to RGB 25500. Okay, and when I push enter, it should be red. Okay, so this one should be red. The other thing that I forgot to mention in class is the width of the line needs to be hairline. Okay, if I didn't change the width of the line to hairline, it would just engrave, it wouldn't cut. So we need both hairline as the width and RGB 25500 to cut. Okay, and then I could do the circle again, RGB 5500, and then I could change this to hairline. And then that would be ready to cut on the laser. And we will cut when I get back. And the next video I make is going to be on how to outline and import pictures. Have a good day.